ashver.com.
Hello and welcome to ashver.com. You are watching an interesting video on 2 ways the cold virus reaches our organs, tissues and bloodstream, some facts about the common cold.
Please read the disclaimer carefully.
This discussion on the common cold is for your interest and amusement. You are advised to consult a medical practitioner should you need to be diagnosed and medically treated for any health-threatening condition that may exist both in your mind as well as your body. Our diet can either cause or cure an illness, so Hippocrates suggested that our food be our medicine. This includes delicious herbs and spices that you may need to have prescribed by a doctor and dispensed in a pharmacy. Imagine a curry without ginger, cinnamon and chili. To be able to cure something, we need to find the cause. There is no point in developing medications to deal with all the nasty ailments associated with the common cold if you don't knock out the chief offender in the first place. We all know that colds are spread by certain viruses. Antibiotics kill bacteria, not viruses, and are not the cure for the common cold. In fact, the antibiotics make it worse as these drugs destroy our gut bacteria that are a part of our immune system. Continuous use of antibiotics exacerbates other infections that attack the respiratory system and can lead to antibiotic-resistant forms of pneumonia or tuberculosis. Watch out for the winter trend. Everybody seems to be coming down with the latest bug. Germs are flying all over the place, and one by one everybody you know is catching the nasty, latest cold. People compare their symptoms, explain how it began, in the throat, the nose and, oh heavens, the chest. Off they go to the doctor or the pharmacy for medicines, especially more antibiotics, just in case. They drink hot toddies and share recipes from grandma. Last season, and in between, when this happened in our extended family, nobody wanted to hug or kiss me in case I got infected. I just laughed and greeted them as normal. I don't catch cold. We don't catch a cold, we get caught out. We fail to appreciate the natural defenses we have. I have a knockout immune system and a secret strategy that has kept me free from colds for 2 decades, much to the amazement of doctors and their patients. I took time out, as a health researcher, to learn how one got a cold and then how to kick it in the butt. I found out that infants who are immunized by rota are often the victims of frequent bouts of colds and flu. Why? Ideally, the newborn baby first feeds on colostrum for protection against infections. Some babies get a shot of mercury from a vaccine instead and are put on a milk formula that may not suit their blood type, and this causes mucus problems. Many of the colds then develop into nasty bacterial infections that did need antibiotics. These meds destroy the gut bacteria, that is so needed by the little ones to fight back. They also get bouts of diarrhea as a result. Anxious mothers often use remedies that can be too harsh and have nasty side effects. My radio fans think I am a bit weird, but I don't do colds, they do. I have even forgotten how it feels to be so bungled up. It seems to make them very miserable, down and out, and very tired. It gets worse when they still eat wheat, gluten, sugar and all things nice. They don't do any maintenance, no heavy metal or parasite cleanses or even a liver flush, so their terrain is toxic. I remind them of this often, but every year, I am asked to give talks and give free workshops on colds and flu. Here are the best strategies we have shared over the years. Some are so simple. I have studied and used the protocols outlined in Dr. Hulda Regeer Clark's classic book The Cure for All Diseases for many years. She may have been controversial in her day, but I took her cold theory to heart and found it really worked. She blamed the adenovirus for setting off the early symptoms of what we call the common cold. This virus is not a freestanding microbe within a human body because it is rapidly detected and removed by a healthy immune system. It cannot survive out in the open. Firstly, colds and flu can be spread by an independent virus floating in the air or lurking on a tabletop, a teacup, or the next person you hug. If the little critter enters your nasal cavity, it gets swished it out with a snivel or a sneeze, due to the rush of mucus that is released by a healthy immune system. Should any antiviral substances such as olive leaf or artemisia be in the system, the bug is executed on the spot. White blood cells we call macrophages can also engulf the troublesome virus and dismantle it. As a result, you don't catch the cold because there isn't a breach in the immune system. So why do people still get colds and flu? I can't say for sure. The adenovirus can also live inside you for years as an inhabitant of another larger parasite like a tapeworm egg or cyst, or even a dust mite that cruises around and nobody seems to mind, not even you. The moment the parasitic host is attacked or ends its normal lifespan, the resident adenovirus is released into your system and is attacked once again by the macrophages or by naturally occurring antiviral chemicals you may have eaten or taken. This is why we can have contact with all kinds of viruses without catching a cold, they simply get assassinated. Over the years, doctors soon discovered that the best way to not get infected from all the spluttering and sneezing from their patients was to take olive leaf tablets or capsules. Ironically, some of their patients had also been taking olive leaf remedies to control high blood pressure and had noticed that they no longer suffered from colds anymore. Word soon got around, and it just so happens that a green medicine like olive leaves, yes, they grow on trees, is a potent broad-spectrum antiviral agent that also keeps blood pressure under control. This is not a commercial, so go and pick your own olive leaves and learn how to take. There are dozens of viruses that can cause colds and flu. They travel around the globe and seem to infiltrate successive countries seasonally from east to west. We have all heard about Asian flu, for instance. This is why a predictive vaccine can be concocted out of existing pathogens that are present at the time. But there is no guarantee that the virus you have been vaccinated against is going to be the one that you catch. As we have now found out, your body is full of parasites that carry many different types of viruses. You already have plenty of other viruses inside you, just waiting for a way to pop out of their hosting parasites. We have not been vaccinated against those viruses. So, if you have had the latest flu shot, the only guarantee is that you have now been contaminated with mercury and your immune system as well as your brain and nervous system have received a nasty blow. There are many ways that you can boost your own flu fighting potential with the use of homeopathic remedies. A prudent use of symptom-related remedies kicks in really well and helps to alleviate, if not ward off, colds and flu. Early stages of viral infections that herald the onset of a nasty cold in particular can be addressed with these magical white pills that enter the bloodstream the moment they are taken by mouth. These little pills can be taken and have helped thousands of people worldwide. They are free of mercury and are not specific to any type of virus that is going around. They work at a far more profound level, as any homeopath or naturopath will tell you. My secret is simply to make it impossible for a virus to feed or defend itself. So far we have seen how a virus can be destroyed and removed by herbal antivirals. They can also be electronically removed by a process known as zapping, whereby an electronic frequency is introduced, a level that causes the virus to disintegrate. The most important defense we have is the one we were born with, the immune system. When it comes to the viruses associated with colds and flu, we depend on the ability of our macrophages, our specialized white blood cells. They are on the constant lookout for the viruses that can infect us and set off a nasty cold. So why do we get colds? Because white blood cells have a serious enemy that robs them of this ability. Molds. We are familiar with food-based molds we find in blue cheese, stale bread, and mildew that grows of food that is going. Molds are present in a lot of foods and they disarm the immune system. Now you know. But remember that molds are also airborne and their spores are everywhere. Mold likes to grow inside damp, dark cupboards, in the shower and on walls and ceilings. We inhale this type of mold, and if there is an adenovirus, for instance, already causing a runny nose, sneezing and a sore throat, then bingo. The cold can develop into a more advanced stage and make you feel like you are drowning in mucus. Yet still, one need not call this a cold because you can do something about the mold infection. It too can be deactivated by taking a few large doses of vitamin C. Taking vitamin C appropriately to kill mold will forestall the cold. Garlic is a popular remedy and can also help to kill off viruses and bacteria. Onions too can absorb germs that spread colds and flu. So keep any onions you have cut open well covered. In days of old, onions were cut open and used to absorb the germs around a sick patient. But don't eat them. Fight mold with red grapes and chocolate. Resveratrol is a chemical that is present in red grapes. It is a potent controller of mold because grapevines cannot survive if they are attacked by a mold or fungus. A few delicious bunches of organic grapes or their juice should do the trick. Kill the mold equals kill the cold in its tracks. Chase that down with some natural dark chocolate because it too is a potent anti-mold secret agent. A piece of dark chocolate is also said to be a wonderful remedy for a sore throat or a prickly cough. But remember that avoiding the moldy environment or food will curtail the advance of a cold at an even earlier stage. Don't eat blue cheese. A few reminders: how to quit catching colds and chase them out. Take plenty of olive leaf remedies when people begin to catch colds. This is to kill the viruses. Use homeopathic remedies to deal with your symptoms as soon as they are detected. Try the popular vaccine oscillococcinum or ask your homeopath to prepare one for you. Make sure you stay away from blue cheese, moldy foods and stale bread. Clean up all moldy areas in the house well in advance and keep it free of infections. White vinegar or bleach is good to scrub it off the walls. Scrub out the fridge with a very strong solution of vitamin C in a little water to keep mold. Avoid going near moldy places. You can usually smell mildew. If you have been exposed to it, then take a gram or two of vitamin C in a little water. Take a few olive leaf tablets or some tincture. Don't immediately assume you are catching a cold because mind power can easily manifest what you fear. Often you get an avalanche of mucus from a reaction to dust, fur, certain food or other allergens. Laugh it off and manifest wellness instead. Vitamin C and water make a great natural antihistamine and they kill mold. Watch out for symptoms that mimic a cold. You may not be infected. The Herxheimer effect can also produce sneezing, mucus, headaches, dizziness, and aches and pains. It is a common reaction to detoxification diets or taking remedies that flush toxic waste from the body and release minor parasites and endotoxins. Herxheimer effects can last a few hours, but not more than a day or two. If this scares you, consult your doctor. To ease up nasal congestion, make your own steam inhaler using a pot of boiling water containing 1 liter of water, 2 tablespoons of bicarbonate of soda and 2 tablespoons of 10% hydrogen peroxide. Add a few drops of mint or eucalyptus oil. Lean over the pot, cover your head with a towel and breathe in the fumes. This helps to keep germs at bay so they don't conjure up a cold. But what if the cold has taken hold and is spreading? Help! Oh no, a burning sore throat for a couple of days? Reach for some bitter dark chocolate. It zaps the mold, elevates your misery and is very soothing for a raspy throat or a burning cough. Licorice is a great emollient, it encourages more soothing saliva to coat the throat. Get some zinc lozenges from a health shop. Try homeopathic remedies such as Mucous. Being too acidic increases your levels of exposure to mercury from amalgam fillings you may still have. Mercury poisoning, from acidic saliva leaching it out, can cause mouth ulcers or a very sore throat or mucus problems. Down goes your immunity and yes, the cold virus can get. Immediately quit the sugar, wheat, milk and rich food. It is a good idea to only eat grapes or apples for a while. Pineapple is also good, being rich in bromelain that has a natural anti-inflammatory action. Drink plenty of water with a big squeeze of lemon juice to help beat down systemic acidity. At bedtime, top up with a good night dose of calcium and magnesium. Clean out the nasal passages and throat. Warm saltwater rinses are traditional, but can burn. Try xylitol because it has a powerful effect on germs and it is painless. Just add a teaspoon of this sugar substitute to a little warm water and sniff or spray it into the nasal passages. Then gargle with it. They say the sugar forms a vapor that can penetrate the eustachian tube that joins the throat to the middle ear and help to melt out the muck. Also use colloidal silver in the mix. Mucus, snorting, hawking and coughing? Instead of reaching for cough mixture with iffy ingredients that make you psycho or drowsy, try some of these ideas. Chili contains a mucus busting drug called guanafensin, same as the one in the cough mixture. If you are not a chili buff, then start cautiously with a few drops of Tabasco sauce or some cayenne pepper. Licorice drops can be taken. They are available as an old-fashioned Dutch medicine called borstroppels. Honey and lemon juice are an old favorite. It may not be possible to avoid all the mold and you may not have taken enough preventive measures like olive leaf and other immune boosters. Your diet may have been overloaded with refined carbohydrates, trans fats and sugar, much loved by parasites. If you have used antibiotics recently, your gut immunity will be compromised and you may already be battling with candidiasis. Here too, olive leaf can help to clear up the problem and help to fight off the molds and viruses. You can power up with probiotics because they thrive on yeast, fungus and mold. It is their diet. Try to find a blend of probiotics with at least 10 different strains. We have a problem if we have already overpopulated with lactobacillus strains to the exclusion of other types. Take a few more grams of vitamin C. An overdose can cause a very loose bowel, so take an amount that you can tolerate. Also bear in mind that a huge load of antibiotics also causes a loose bowel, so you need to replace those probiotics. Find a zapper and use it on the frequencies recommended for mold and the adenovirus or all the viruses, just to be on the safe side. Some therapists can scan and treat you with electronic devices such as the Rife apparatus to kill the microbe. Legal's iodine is also recommended by some naturopaths to keep infections at bay. You may need to take a few of nature's best natural antibiotics if the mucus turns yellow and the chest gets infected. People swear by garlic, echinacea, oregano oil and beeperpillis. Colloidal silver is a safe and gentle antibiotic and good to use as a nasal or throat spray. Get familiar with the use of naturally sourced antibiotics. But they also knock out your gut bacteria, so the diverse strains need to be replaced with a probiotic formula and by eating traditionally fermented food. The quicker you react positively, not the "oh dear," and forestall the progression of colds, the easier it is to shunt them away and recover. At best, you will have a few days of discomfort as opposed to being under the weather for weeks on end. Just remember that most of the viruses are already inside you, but they cannot harm you until they crack out of their cozy little houses, the parasites that eat all the junk food you leave in your system. A clean body and a strong immune system can resist them, so persist in achieving a radiantly healthy body. I found the key to all this was to eat only food that suits me. A good hard look at gluten sensitivity and the blood type diet is what also helped me to put an end to colds and flu. 20 years down the line and fitter than.
Thank you for watching this interesting and informative video. This channel offers motivational, inspirational, valuable and informative videos to soothe, cleanse and inspire your health, mind, body and spirit. You can find a lot of interesting videos on wide range of topics here. Stay tuned and keep watching.